Hi, I'm Eric Blevins with HyprMX. We're here at Pocket Gamer Connect's 2023 in London, and I'm joined by Otto from Fingersoft. Welcome, Otto.
Yeah, thank you.
I want to start off because I saw on LinkedIn recently that you just got promoted. I believe you're now head of game economy at Fingersoft.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you'll still be handling ad monetization, correct?
Yes, kind of like this is like the team lead position to like handle the whole game economy teams. Like has been like two teams. I mean, unified the team, and then kind of leading the team, and still continuing with my like earlier job in ad monetization manager. It doesn't go anywhere.
No, yeah, but there are some new responsibilities, I imagine, in addition to building the team.
Yes, a lot to learn on our IAP monetization. Like huge amount of like almost 10 years of history, kind of like how things are done, and now we are a little bit changing it. Kind of like I don't want to break anything. I just want to like unify things and make them like work together with like with our like ad monetization.
Right. Yeah. Because I mean, you have Hill Climb Racing 2. Yes. Obviously, the teams have done a lot right with those titles. I mean, they maintain really high DAUs. How's that done? How's the team able to be so successful with kind of two back-to-backs?
Actually, very good question, and we don't even know how Hill Climb Racing 1 turned 10 years old, like on October last year, and we had the celebration, and still like having like the DAU like crazy and very big, and it's kind of like we call it evergreen game, so that's algorithms love it for some reason, and in some places, like let's say like India, it's like the first game that you have on your phone when you get a new phone, and it also runs like with like very low-end devices, which we wanted to keep like that, so that you can play with like we say that you can play it with a toaster. so that's one key thing that we keep it like the package size is low, it's easy to install, it's very easy to approach and understand the games. When you start to play it, you like kind of like it's intuitive, like how to play it. Right. And it's like very addictive in the sense that it's having the kind of like real world physics, but a little bit of a twist, kind of like somehow break the real world physics.
Yeah.
So that's the.
I can attest that it's very addictive for sure.
Yeah.
I've played a lot of times, and like the ability to restart and replay.
Yeah, there's kind of like this in-game loop, which is very fast. Like you fail, you try again, and you like upgrade the vehicles and then go forward.
Yeah. Speaking of upgrading the vehicles, can you talk a little bit about the game economy, like what the mix is like and how you balance that?
It's actually funny, like if talking about Hill Climb Racing 1, it's the in-game economy is complete mess. It's like bad. Okay. By any measure, it's very bad. But also it's one part which maybe makes it also like a very, like it's good for the player. Player thinks that, I'm getting a lot of things and a huge amount of coins all the time. I feel like I'm going forward. Then only thing is that we must have like a lot of content for the game, because we have to all the time be able to give something for the players.
Right.
So kind of like that is one thing that. But for Hill Climb Racing 2, we like made the economy better, but it's still very like gives a lot, like for example like coins and everything that you can upgrade and you can like go forward. You have feeling like I'm succeeding in this, and you are like feeling like you are winning like a lot of races. So it gives like this like what people are searching from the games, kind of like this good feeling like I'm good at something, like I'm good at this game, and it goes forward.
And is it primarily driven by IAP or ads? What's that kind of split look like?
It's kind of like 50-50, like a rough number, because it's like what I've been like now the recent years learning that there's so small fraction of users who are paying for like with the real money in the game, buying IAPs. So it totally makes sense with that kind of game, which is quite casual. We don't like to say it's hyper casual, but kind of like casual game. So kind of like having the ad monetization strong in that game makes total sense, because there's so big audience who can't maybe consume otherwise. So kind of like it's both sides are very important.
I mean, at 50% ads, I know a lot of studios we've talked to over the last year have been looking for new opportunities to drive additional revenue, to expand upon kind of the ad strategy. Have you tested any new ad formats or found anything that's been working recently?
Yeah, actually, I think the most interesting format currently for us is the rewarded interstitial, which we have started using. We started with, we have this Boom Cards game. We started there last year, like a year ago, and now we introduced it in Hill Climb Racing 1, like in our December update last year. and it looks like kind of like what we are looking from it is like incremental revenue. So that kind of like this is a mix of two formats. So kind of like it shouldn't take off from the rewarded videos, obviously, because the eCPMs are a little bit lower, but it should be like incremental to interstitials, but we don't want to push the interstitials like more the intrusive ads. So kind of like playing with that. So it has been quite hard to balance. And I think we found a good spot in Hill Climb Racing 1 that it's incremental for the rewarded videos and interstitials. So that's one interesting. Of course, in-game advertisement is something that we are also exploring and been implementing it for boom cards. It's been since last summer.
This is like the in-game, in-play.
Yeah.
Like
so when you have karting games, so it makes total sense that you have like the developers had made like fake ads, like kind of like because you have the racetrack.
Yep.
So it's like for the racetrack there's always advertisements. So they had made like a fake ads over there, like some burger ads and something, and then they're like, hey, why don't we use their like real ads? And it was like a no-brainer to add them, like start showing the ads over there, like the monetizing ads also.
Nice. And have you found that it's been able to drive a bit of incremental revenue?
Yes, it's still quite hard. Like it's so campaign driven. Like you can't like predict when there's going to be like good campaigns and which geos and how much you get like fill and so on. And there's no mediation for those, so you have to like rely on your own logic on which networks you are using or. So it's I think it's still like a couple of years from now it will be good, but now it's like in the early stage.
Yeah,
but we want to like explore it still. And,
it seems like there's a lot of opportunity, but it just may take a bit of time.
Yes, definitely.
And speaking of time, I know last few years, obviously the focus has been Hill Climb Racing 2, maximizing revenue there. But I did see that there's a new title coming out. I think it might be out in soft launch in a few geos.
It is. Yes.
All right. Can you tell me a little bit about Lego Hill Climb Adventures?
Yeah, it's something that we are very excited because like we are like huge fans of Lego products, like all that, and everyone's been like building them since like a very small child. And now we got this like opportunity to like start doing like this crossover between two like very big brands like Hill Climb Racing and Lego. And kind of like we found that Lego is having like very similar thoughts on like game development and ideas on what they want to see and have in their mobile games. So kind of like that was a very good mix. And,
How did the Lego partnership come about? I mean, how can other studios go about kind of getting such an amazing IP like that?
Well, I think you first have to have some kind of an IP, like we had the Hill Climb Racing, kind of like it makes sense that we can start the discussion that this game could it be like a crossover with Lego things. And well, obviously we noticed that this is like a great match, like our like cartoonish style with the Lego style. So I don't know if there's any kind of like a how you should go and ask like could we do this, but kind of like also we had this thing that we one of our developers had like a very clear vision, like I want to do this, and he actually did the pitch like I don't know, like 3 years ago, like kind of like this is how it should be. This is how it should look like, and then we started slow process on everything, like discussing how it would go and started building a team. And it has been like obviously we have this resource from Hill Climb Racing that we can build a new team for like another game, which is good, but still like it has been like a long process on where we are.
Right. And so, but did Fingersoft actually initiate the conversation with Lego? Was this pitched from your team?
I tried to ask this, and I understood that it's kind of like mutual. Like somehow ended up in conversation. I don't know which one started it, but
very cool.
It has been like for a longer time now the discussion on.
Yeah, I mean everyone I think has played with Legos, still plays with Legos. We have a couple friends at Lego that, it's constant. Everyone loves it. And it's got to be a really cool project to work on. What are some of the more fun aspects of working on something like that?
I think like the whole thing with Legos, like kind of like thinking how you make a game out of that. Obviously everything's breaking up like and building up kind of like and there's like, well, the coolest things when you get to play the game is that kind of like how like when you get the new vehicle, you have to get the blueprint first and then you have to collect the bricks, and then when you build it, you see it building the whole vehicle. It's like, I want to hold this button as long as I can because I see it building, and all the kind of like environment things also, like there are like you have to find blueprints and build something. So that kind of like the Lego magic, like things are building up and breaking up. That's like the other side of like they can be like all the time the bricks are flying and kind of like there are tasks to do like break as much as things you can. Kind of thing. So
a little bit of a destruction element to it as well.
And that's what people want to have. Like we have had like in Hill Climb Racing 2 like this kind of like we called it in beginning Angry Bill. Bill Newton is the like the main character in Hill Climb Racing. So Angry Bill, so that breaking things up, there were like in-game events on that, and then kind of like that was very like successful event type in the game, and that kind of like been taken to the Lego game, that breaking things.
And as fun as it is, I'm sure there's also always going to be challenges, particularly when you're working with an IP. Is there anything that was particularly challenging about coming up with the concept, the art, actually building the game?
I guess a lot of like we want to make it high quality, and when you're doing it's a 3D game, so kind of like big challenge is also like performance. As I said, like in the beginning, like we wanted to have Hill Climb Racing 1 like as like low package size and everything, like you can play with the toaster. You definitely can't play Lego game with the toaster because it's 3D and it requires quite a lot of like performance from the device. So I think that's one big thing that we can still like come up with like solutions to keep it low, like you can play with like as many devices as possible. But that's one challenging thing. Also, like kind of like this when you have to like big brands, so you have to make them work together, discuss together how that's like Hill Climb Adventure. So it's like single player game and kind of like there's a story driven game. What's the story actually? Do you have enough content for it? It's like got a lot of writing, which we haven't been doing before because Hill Climb Racing has been like event driven and kind of like you just add things on the fly for the game. So in this project we had to like write much more because we had to have the content and it's single player. You can't just like add more levels, but something while the user is staying in the game. So.
Right, and I imagine that all has to go through an approval process between both parties and.
Yeah. I think that's been like all the kind of like things Lego is having these like different tracks, or like they have this Ninjago and everything, and we like thinking like what we can use in that, like Lego City and so that's interesting how we are turning the like Hill Climb Racing characters into Lego characters. That kind of thing. So it's taken some time.
Yeah, I imagine so. And I'm sure there's a little bit more time before it'll be globally released. But aside from the new game coming out, what else is Fingersoft working on?
Another new title is Hill Climb Racing 3. I don't know if you noticed, we also announced that we are doing that. So kind of like this like Lego Hill Climb Adventures is a separate track, and then we have Hill Climb Racing 3, which is kind of like sequel for 2, like kind of like more like competitive. But we have announced this like 3D real-time multiplayer game, which Lego is then like single-player game. So they are like separate tracks and they are not competing against each other. But Hill Climb Racing 3 is hopefully we get something to show by the end of the year. So it's also like very cool project.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like a busy year indeed. Well, I really appreciate you joining us, Otto. It's always good to see you. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Thank you.